So recently I decided to start a new playthrough to show off how to make it through your first year in Medieval Dynasty. We ran around the map, picked up loot, built a house, killed a bunch of the local fauna, started our first farm, and built ourselves up a little starter village all in our first spring, and perfectly setting us up for the next season. So make sure to pay the king's tax of 1 like or 1 sub, and we'll get right into this.
All right, we are in the summer season. Let's go. So the first thing I guess I want to look at is our chapter 3 quest, because we finished chapter 2 last season, and it looks like we did a couple things in this chapter already that transferred over. So for example, we successfully flirted with somebody, and we spent a skill point in any tree. It looks like I have a skill point, so production skill point, we're gonna put this in, we're gonna do workshop and smithy, because I feel like that's gonna be something we do more on our own. The cooking we may not need so much once we get our hunter, which is one of the things we plan to do this season. So first things first, you can see our plants have completely grown. Basically, once the end of the season comes, your plants will all grow, and the first day of the next season, they will all be ready to harvest. Not necessarily every plant, just these two specifically. I wonder if I can pull it up and show which ones take a couple seasons. So if you look at wheat, oats, rye, carrots, beetroot, and poppy seeds, all of these plants take at least 2 seasons to grow. Pretty much only the flax, the cabbage, and the onions grow in 1 season. But yeah, let's harvest our farm. So for cabbage, all you have to do is pick them up. It doesn't take anything else. You don't need a tool or anything. Got a farming shed, pretty nice. That'll be nice if we end up picking up like a farmer to do all of this stuff for us, but for now, we're probably gonna skip out on the farm shed. But for flax, if you want to harvest flax, wheat, rye, things like that, you're gonna need a sickle or a scythe. Now I got a sickle from an abandoned cart last season, so that's what I'm gonna use. But if you need to get one, you can buy a sickle from Edwin in Gustovia. But basically just swing and it harvests your flax. Simple as that. Now here's another interesting thing. Oh yeah, hold on. Now maybe you may remember, but I dropped 170 berries on the ground last season, and it turned into rot. It decomposed, so that's exactly what we wanted to do, because now that we have that 170 rot and the barn, we can go up to this workbench right here, go to fertilizer, and for every 10 rot, you can make 1 fertilizer. So we can make 17, so we'll have 1 extra. But yeah, that fertilizer will be needed when we plant our next plants for this season. Another thing that we can show off is the threshing floor. And the threshing floor is mainly for flax if you want to break it down into flax stalks and get your seeds back. So if we craft more and we click 48, we can thresh all of our flax seeds and get stalks and seeds. And that's how you thresh your flax. And we got a farming level. Nice. Let's see what we can put it in. So we have farming knowledge, which will increase experience. We'll probably skip that. 25% chance to harvest additional crops with skilled farmer, and 5% slower durability loss from farming tools. We're gonna go with skilled farmer because the extra resources will be nice. But yeah, that was basically our bit of maintenance for the season. I'll work on the farm a little bit later, but we should start on our chapter quest. Also, I forgot to mention, I built this little sitting stump, so yeah, I can just sit down, take in the scenery and all of that. It only costs a log, so if you want to build that, go to furniture and decoration, seats, and sitting stump. But yeah, let's do some quests for the local villages in Gustovia, why don't we? Oh, looks like we have some new ladies that arrived into town. They're both survival skill. I don't really need that. Well, let's talk to Dalagor and start a quest with him.
I welcome you, traveler.
He's an elderly man who is unable to craft tools of his own. Let's see what he wants us to make him. He wants a stone axe. We have a stone axe, so luckily for us, we can just give it to him. Easy first quest. And we unlocked a workshop 1. That's really nice. Now we can make our infamous wooden vials and become rich. And now we're gonna do a quest for this guy, and I don't even want to try and pronounce his name.
A newcomer.
Prejudwooge. I even looked up the pronunciation. I still can't pronounce it. Prejudwooge.
What can I
Anyway,
do for you?
what's up, bro? Can we help you? I look like a reliable fighter. Well, you should have seen me last season. Please leave me alone. Please. I have so much to live for. Horrible howls and can barely sleep, huh? What do you want me to do? Kill wolves? Night howl. Hunt 2 wolves. Oh, fun. We get to go kill some wolves. Or die trying. Now, do I have any locations with wolves already? If you go to map and change the filters to wild animals, you can actually see a couple of the animal areas that you've found. It looks like there's wolves over here. These are the wolves that were attacking that poor rabbit. But I think there are wolves over here. So we're gonna go this way and hopefully find some wolves. I have 2 spears. I don't know if I may need more, just in case I have an axe as well. I think that should be more than enough, assuming I don't miss. Oh, look at, there it is. Oh, the wolf's right there. I was gonna say, we discovered the wolf animal spot, but it's literally right in front of us. I want to make sure I don't get ambushed by any other wolves. Go into first person, make it a bit easier. And sneak up on him. Pretty easy. Get my spear back. And let's skin him. I heard another one. Hopefully I don't get ambushed. Where is he at? I hear him, but I don't see him. Oh, he's right there. Back up, back up. Oh, he's coming. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to use the axe for you. I pretty much just kited him. I don't even think he hit me. Poor guy. But yeah, easy quest. We got some fur and we got some meat as well. Back to Prejudwooge. What is up, my guy? The wolves are dead. We chipped in and prepared a reward for you. Hell yeah, I'll accept it. 14 stone arrows and some coins. If only I had a bow. Now it looks like I got some skill points as well. We got our first diplomacy skill, yeah. I forgot to mention that as well. When you do quests, you also get diplomacy. So we can either get more experience, more reputation gain, or more affection when flirting. I think I'm gonna go with diplomat. The more dynasty reputation, the better. Gonna do a bit of flirting and then we're gonna go kill some boars or foxes. All right, let's start on chapter 4. Chapter 3 wasn't too hard. Now I'm not entirely sure if the story quests add to the quest, but you could also do this quest with Alwyn. This is a story quest and I said I wasn't gonna do any story quests for this run, but this one is really easy, so if you want an easy quest, maybe try doing Alwyn's quest. Now foxes would probably be easier to kill, Boars give more XP though, so maybe let's shoot for boars. Now that we're in a new season, some of the spawn locations may have reset. All right, I see 2 boars. Let's start with a spear. Don't run for me. Okay. It was a misplay. He really tried to misdirect me. And I destroyed... Oh, no, they're right there. My spear rolled down to the other boar. That's not good. Got my spears made. And let's hunt this guy down. We need 2 more. But this is probably the last one in the area. Easy kill. Pick our spears back up. Yeah, so as you can see, since we killed the boars here, it looks like the area is grayed out, which means there are no more boars here. So maybe we'll go find a fox. Looks like there's a fox like right here. Oops, I mistook this area for a fox location. All right, you want some? Don't run from me. Well, that was my bad. So the running ones are the wolves. The standing ones are the foxes. That one did some good damage on me too. Oh my goodness. It would be good to point this out actually. So these plants right here, so if you use left alt and use the inspect mode, you can see them a bit better. But these small little flowers right here are broadleaf plantains. If you eat these will actually heal you. I think two health per. So if you're starting to die, pick some of those up and just eat them. All right, where's that fox? There he is. So foxes will run away from you if you walk up to them, but if you hit them, they become aggressive. Oh, I missed. But they shouldn't be very hard to kill. Especially if you have this bronze axe, you know. Next on the chapter quest is the farm. Now, we already did a bit of farming already, so if you didn't do it up to this point, that's fine. We're gonna go to the waterfall, though, and see if that camp is spawned. Or maybe even the pickaxe. Nope, no camp. What a shame. All right, let's head home and we'll just craft this wooden hoe in the simple bag. All right, it's getting a little late, but let's pick up our traps really quick. We got a rabbit and we got a bird. So we'll reset those and let's create this wooden hoe in the simple bag. So since we killed all those animals, we should have leather for a simple bag. Pretty standard, pretty easy. And we might have enough for a hoe as well. Nope, we need some logs. Once you get your log and your sticks, you can craft your wooden hoe. That's another easy quest. Next, we need fertilizer, carrot seeds, and wheat grain. Yeah, and I think you also need cabbage seeds, but I already have those from the last season. So we'll go and get those later. We might be able to just grab the fertilizer we have. Yep, and that counts. So we're almost ready to work on our farm, but let's leave it as is and we'll just go to sleep for now. Start on it tomorrow. Dawn of the second day. Today I think we're gonna work on our farm and maybe even build a new house so we can invite somebody to live in our village. Get our first villager. Once again, if you want seeds, you have to buy them from Edwin.
Hello there.
So Edwin should sell all the seeds you need. So 15 carrot and 15 wheat grain.
Goodbye.
It's gonna cost a pretty penny, but it'll be worth it in the long run. I also wanted to mention, now that we're in summer, the berries are gonna be ripe now. It's still not a bad idea to pick them up if you want to drop them and get rot, but you can eat them technically. So if you don't have any food, you might as well. And of course, the survival skill is always worth it. All right, let's get started on our field. So the first thing we need to do is grub up our field. Now we can't do that technically because we already built our field. So it's gonna start right into the fertilizing part. So if you've already done this, you're gonna have to make a 1x1 field and just scrub it up. And if you don't want this field, you can just pull out your hammer and destroy it. But now that we've grubbed up the field, we want to set our fertilizer. Then once you fertilize your field, you want to plow it. And this season, I think we are going to sow completely cabbage. I think that's the only thing we can sow in the summer. All right, our field is done for the season. But how about for a little bit of decoration? Let's build like a fence around our farm. How about we try out the low wattle fence? So yeah, we bought that, and then we're just gonna build it around our farm. Nothing too fancy. It is going to cost us some sticks though. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. Now we did unlock the new chapter, resourcefulness, but I think before we do that, we're going to build a new house. Now chapter 7 may be to invite villagers to your village. I'm not entirely sure right now, but I kind of want to get that going because the sooner we get a villager in town, the sooner we can get resources going. Why don't we just build it right here? I'm not trying to make like a fancy village or anything. We also need to get more reeds again, so we might as well go stock up on reeds. I think 100 will do this time. So now that we have this house, let's go get a new villager. Let's move them in before the end of the night. So I don't remember their skills. I did want Roberta first, but it would be nice to have somebody with extraction that could work. Or sorry, it would be nice to have somebody that's a hunter that could work in the hunting lodge. If not, then we'll just go for an extractor. So in Gastovia, we have Moldliboga and Erwina. They both have 3 in survival and 1 hunting. So that's not really what we're looking for. And then in Barawo, we have 3 villagers, 2 with extracting, and 1 with production. So it looks like no survival, or it looks like no hunters this time around, at least in the vicinity. So we're just gonna invite Roberta and put her in the woodshed. I already flirted with her. So when you want to invite a villager, talk to her, and then it's this little button right here. I'm creating a new settlement and I'm looking for good people willing to join me. And she has joined the village. But we need a few things if we don't want her to leave. And if you can see in the top left corner, you have those little icons. You have the house, the food, the water, and firewood. So we're gonna need to get all of those for her tonight, which shouldn't be too hard. So first on the list is a house. The easiest way to get into the house is either go to this signboard on top of the house, or just go to your management tab, click on your villager, click on empty slot, assign house, and assign her to the house. So now Roberta lives in this house. Next, we're gonna need food, water, and firewood. So I don't know if I have any food already. Let's check. It looks like I have some roasted meat. So I'm just gonna take this roasted meat and put it in the chest in her house. So if you add anything to the chest inside their house, that'll be how they can obtain it. Next, let's do firewood. So to do firewood, you're gonna need a woodshed, and you can build firewood right here. So we're gonna make 12 firewood for her with the 3 logs we have. And then on top of that, we're gonna need some water. So you remember that bucket I stole last episode? This is when it comes in handy. So we're gonna take the bucket and the firewood and place it in the chest. And with all 3 of those things, she should be good now. By the way, you don't have to do it that quick to like get everything together, but I would advise doing it as soon as possible. Because in that time, I mean, she only went down -2 mood, and if she reaches -100 mood, that's when she leaves the village. So you do have a good amount of time to get all of your stuff accounted for, but just to show it off, that's what you should do. And then when you need more water, you can fill the bucket up and put it back in there. When she needs food, you can put more food in their chest. And if they need more firewood, you can just make more firewood. But it is coming to nighttime. But before we go to bed, let's also assign her a job. So since she is an extractor, I guess I should show off her skills really quick. Now, if you look right here, these are all of her skills. She's got a 3 in extraction, 1 in hunting, 2 in farming, 1 in diplomacy, 1 in survival, and 2 in production. So she will work best in an extraction job. And the only job that we have right now that is extraction is the woodshed. So we're gonna have her work in the woodshed. You can go to the management tab again, or you can click on the sign, click on the worker slot, and add her to the woodshed. Now that she's added to the woodshed, she will actually gather things for us, but we have to assign her the amount of things she would gather. So if you go to the second tab right here with the hammer and the arrow, you can decide what she's gonna get for us. So I think the most important thing is going to be logs. So I'm going to set the work intensity to 80. And I'm going to set the work intensity to sticks at 20. Now you may notice that in her free time, she will pick up sticks, but she's not going to get logs without a tool. So in order for her to gather those for us, we're going to have to give her tools. So Roberta is going to need a stone axe. You can place axes in the workplace chest, and she will gather them on her own when it's time to work. But since it's late, she's not going to be working right now, so we might as well just go to bed. But before we go to bed, let's cook all this meat. So yeah, while we're just sitting here and crafting our roasted meat, if you enjoy these gameplay videos and you'd like to see more, consider liking and subscribing if you haven't. This series probably isn't going to be very long, but if the reception is really high, we might just continue after the first year. But since co-op is around the corner, we may end up just going straight to the co-op run and making that our main run. So yeah, let's just finish off this roasted meat and head to bed. All right, last day of summer. I think today is going to be a good day to work on all of our buildings. And on top of that, we'll be able to get a good idea as to how much Roberta is going to be farming for us. So if we can actually, maybe I'll give her another axe. In fact, I'll give her one of the nice axes I have. Actually, I'll give her a copper axe and a stone axe. So once again, just place the axes in the chest. And she will have no problem getting to them. And on top of that, looks like we got a skill point. So we will take, oh, it's survival. What do we take? What do we take? Movement in water, lower stamina consumption during movement, or 10% less damage received. Or we could take any of these ones below. 10% more health is nice. Lower food and water loss is nice. I think we'll take the stamina consumption during movement though. It'll give us a little bit more stamina when we're just running around. But yeah, in addition to the buildings, it looks like we need a bit more dynasty reputation. So we may need to do a quest or two. So maybe we'll do that first. Let's take a trip to Barrowo and see what that quest is. Alrighty, Ludamira.
Greetings, stranger.
Can I help you with something? What do you need me to do? I pledged to create some pants for the local folk, but I ran out of materials. You need leather. Guess what?
Hello there.
I already have it. Wait,
Have a good day.
no I don't. I don't have the leather. I need 3. So it looks like we're gonna have to go hunting. Maybe there's some deer nearby, I don't know. Foxes give fur. Deer, there we go, there we go. Oh, what's that? Look what I just happened to stumble upon. A wooden shovel, 150 coins, and 5 tin ore. Pretty good. Here I am on the map, by the way, if you're curious as to where this is. Just a little bit northwest of Barrow. Okay, let's get this deer. We should only need 1. Just go down, man. Give me your leather. Ludmira, I have returned. I've got it all here as promised. And I got 75 coins and 1 linen thread. I guess that was all we needed for Dynasty Rep. That makes this easy. Now we can just spend today building and checking on Roberta to see how she's doing. Also, a fun fact, I don't think I mentioned it last episode, but if you are encumbered and you strafe, you actually run faster. Little exploit that doesn't seem like they have fixed or plan to fix anytime soon. But here we are, we have Roberta working. She appears to be cutting some logs. But now if we go and check the woodshed and we go back to this tab, we can actually see how much she's going to gather per season. So every season she's going to gather us 18 sticks and 48 logs, which is a lot. So that's 48 logs that we'll not have to cut down trees for ourselves. So has she gotten anything yet? She's gotten 12 logs and 4 sticks. Really nice. Good job, Roberta. Let's build a workshop. We'll probably be able to get all of these buildings done. In fact, just to save on cutting trees, let's just put her 100% on logs for the rest of the day. Maybe get an extra, what was it, 12 or 20 logs? But yeah, let's start with a workshop, which is in production, I believe. Yep. And a workshop. Where should we place it? I guess we can build the workshop like right in front of the farm. And let's get to building. All right, we have our workshop. Now, workshop is nice because now we can create our own buckets. We don't have to steal anymore. And on top of that, we can make wooden vials and bowls. So wooden vials will make us some money. Bowls we can use to make food. And that's the most of it for now. We may use wicker baskets for some other things later, but we don't really need them right now. We don't need most of it right now. Next, let's build the food storage. I'm probably going to build this off to the side somewhere. Now, what would be really nice to have is if we had an extraction, what is it called? An extraction hut? If we had an extraction hut, we could have a villager that would collect stones and straw for us as well. So that'll be another big building we want to get in the future. Because stones are few and far between. Or at least they are now that I've been just picking them all up. I mean, if you want to get stones and you don't want to pick them up off the ground, you can go take your pickaxe and go to like, there are like stone veins. So you can see those right there. You can use a pickaxe on those and you can get stone. But I don't usually like to do that. And I really don't want to waste my durability, but my pickaxe durability on stone when I could just use it for like copper, tin, and salt. But we probably aren't going to get to those for a while. That might not be a first year problem, you know. Maybe I'll try and go to the mine in the winter. We'll see what happens. Because I doubt there's going to be a quest that sends us there. Oh, but looks like we have a production problem. What's going on? It looks like the chest is full. Well, that's a good problem to have, I guess. We do need the logs. So there will be a way to fix that problem once we get the resource storage. That shouldn't be much of an issue later. So we'll probably get to that soon. I mean, we'll get to that next, technically. All right, we got our food storage. Now, the nice thing about the food storage is, so if you remember, we put food in Roberta's chest. Now, if we put food in this chest, like this 46 meat that we cooked last night, not only will it take longer to spoil, but villagers can go take straight from the woods, or villagers can take straight from the food storage. So you don't need to put it manually in their chest each time. So, for example, if I take her food out, you'll notice that she still has food because she can just take straight from the food storage. And on top of that, maybe we'll put we have some cabbage left over from last season. We don't want that to go bad. It'll still go bad slower if you put it in a chest in general, but it'll go down even slower if you put it in the food storage. So now we have roasted meat and some cabbage. And lastly, I guess we just need a resource storage. So let's go get more. Oh, it looks like our traps have broken. So eventually, I think it's after 4 or 3 traps, the trap will break. So you'll have to build a new one. So we'll build a new rabbit trap and we'll build a new bird trap. Another thing I want to mention about villagers while I'm picking up these reeds. So since we have a simple small house, we can technically move 2 people into the simple small house. So if we find another male villager and we move him in, we can move him into Roberta's house. And then we'd have 2 villagers technically. But I might wait on doing that because I would like to build my diplomacy a bit more. And if I move them in together, I mean, I could try and find somebody who's maybe way older than her, so it would take longer. But if they're really close to the same age, so if they're both really close, like, I don't know, a couple years apart, after a couple seasons or a year or so, they will end up getting married and then eventually having a baby. And I kind of want to miss out on the babies for now, because if Roberta decides to have a baby, she's going to be out of commission and not working for 2 years after the baby's born. And I don't really want to deal with that right now. So what would be a better option is to build a second house and just move them in. Or even better, me find a wife and move her into my house. But I'm going to take my time on that just for the sake of a little bit of extra diplomacy skill. Yeah, let's build this resource storage. Let's find a spot. I really don't want the resource storage on stilts. And I got an extraction skill. Nice. What do we got? What do we got? Well, we have 2 points. 50% resources recovered from destroying structures, or 5% slower loss of pickaxes and shovels. So I think one with the earth will be better for us now. I don't really have any plans to destroy anything, but if I do end up like destroying a lot of buildings, Master of Destruction would be really nice. For our second point, additional resources from deposits, that's really nice. See, extraction has a lot of good skills, but I'm gonna take Mule for the extra 5 kilograms of carry weight. Carry weight is king in this game. Right here. And now we have a location for our resource storage, and let's build it up. Also, let's pick up all the rest of the logs that Roberta got. 14 logs. Maybe it was better that I got a worker in the woodshed over a hunter, because realistically I could make my own food pretty easily, especially at like night. Oh, and a new house. I don't know about you guys, but the simple house is kind of pointless to me. If you're doing it for design purposes, I get it, but I don't think there's a reason to not just build a simple small house instead. It's less resources and it holds the same amount of people. I believe it does, right? Double check. Yeah, simple small house holds 3 people. Oh, a simple house holds 4. Never mind, guys. I don't know why I thought simple houses held 3 people. In fact, that just makes me think that the normal house is pointless. Like, why build a house? Yeah, why build a house when you can just build the simple house? If anybody knows, leave it in the comments. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time to finish off this resource storage before the end of the season. Which is a shame, but it isn't that big of a deal, honestly. But for this season, it seems like we did get a good amount done. We didn't get as many buildings built, but we got a workshop, we got a food storage, and we got a house and a villager living in. So now we have Roberta, our first villager. So once again, if you've enjoyed this video or this series so far, please sure to leave a like, a sub, hit the bell so you can be notified for when the next episode comes. And yeah, next episode, we will be going into the fall. So until then, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.